in Solai. Now, well, the deal is signed, but questions still linger on how the Cuban doctors will be absorbed within the Kenyan workforce. Cecilia Wakesho, our reporter, is now joining us live from the Central Business District studios. Cecilia, very good afternoon to you. You attended this particular function of the signing of the MOU. From what you had and what was said by the government officials, who will be paying the doctors and what kind of benefits in terms of the county capacity nurses training will the country be getting?
Thank you, Akisa. Indeed, it's official. From the 28th of this month, the health sector will be having a new guest, and that is the 100 Cuban doctors who are set to be deployed in all the 47 counties. And as you've posed the question there, we were asking some of the stakeholders, the governors who are present at the signing ceremony, on how the payment will be done. And what they said is that although there is no particular amount that has been quoted to cater for this 2-year program, but the salary will come from the national government, while the county governments are expected to factor in transport, infrastructure, there is security for these specialists. That we have housing, we have security, and we have issues to do with their transport. So what they are saying is that these specialists, what will happen is that if one county like Nairobi has a specialist on oncology, and Kiambu County perhaps has a specialist on dermatology. So what happens, they will be exchanging these doctors whenever they need them, but then that particular county that will be hosting the specialist then will be required to cater for the housing, for the security, and even transport, among other allowances for those doctors. But remember, according to KMPDU, earlier on they had mentioned that it could be a program that could cost up to 2 billion shillings. But remember, according to the COG, is that this is something that has already been locked. In fact, according to Nyandarua County Governor, that is Francis Kimemia, he said his county has already prepared. It has already allocated over 1 billion that goes to salaries. And so there is no need to worry that when these specialists come, they will not be paid their salaries. But Akisa, another thing that rose, that is the Ministry of Health, Cecily Kariuki, CS, replying to some of those questions. She said this is sort of an exchange program because from September this year, also the country will be overseeing 50 doctors who will be traveling to Cuba to go and receive training, and the training will be on matters concerning health specialization, because remember, those who are coming, 47 of them will specialize in various departments like oncology, I've mentioned, dermatology, matters to do with kidney, and then the other 53 will specialize on matters to do with family issues. I remember there are so many issues that entails family. We have issues of gynecologists. So that is the kind of arrangement that came out in the signing ceremony that has taken place today. But right. Remember, Akisa, the KMPDU is vehemently opposed to this. Akisa. All
right, for now, definitely a matter of wait and see on how this is going to work out and the kind of resistance, especially, as you say, the KMPDU is vehemently opposed to this idea of bringing in 100 Cuban doctors when 2,000 doctors in the country remain unemployed. Cecilia Wakesho, there for us, joining us live from our city centre studios. Away from matters health, the government is set to settle a 5 billion shilling debt owed to maize farmers. Our reporter Elvis Koskei is now joining us live from Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County with more on this. Elvis, good afternoon. How has this been met by the farmers there?
The announcement came as major relief to thousands of farmers here in Uasin Gishu County, but up to now, I'm told they have not been paid their due. Remember, the Treasury CS last week on Saturday had indicated that the government will add an additional of 2 billion shillings to those farmers who had delivered their maize to the NCPB. Today, the farmers were here at Moiben constituency where they're having a meeting deliberating on issues that have been affecting farmers in Uasin Gishu County. Also, last week, Deputy President William Ruto had indicated that they'll start profiling farmers, and he had urged the Agriculture Ministry, together with the Information and Technology Ministry, to profile the 2.5 million farmers in the North region so that they can differentiate between farmers and cartel. Joining me ni mkulima kutoka kaunti ya Uasin Gishu. Naona kwamba mmekuwa na mkutano, naona mmekuwa na seneta wenyu Margaret Kamar. Ni nini hasa mmekuwa mkijadili siku ya leo?
Sisi shida yetu ni mahindi yenye tulipeana kwa cereal tukapatia serikali, na tumeona mbaya sana kupeana mahindi 2017 mwisho mpaka saa hii mwezi wa 5 imefika wakati ya mahindi kukwisha, na tunaanza msimu ya kupanda ngano na hatujalipwa. So tunaona mbaya sana, na tuna kama hii serikali hawajali maslahi ya wakulima na wananchi wote kwa jumla wa Kenya, ni mbaya sana. So tunasema mlipe sisi tupate kuendelea. Hiyo ukulima kwetu ni tegemeo. Watoto wetu wanategemea afya yetu, chakula, ili tupate kutoka kwa nyumbani ni kwa ajili ya hiyo. So ni maajabu sana sisi kupeana mahindi tunakaa mwaka mzima bila kulipwa. Aibu sana. Tunataka tunalia na nimenaongea kwa niaba ya wakulima wote wa kaunti kwamba tulipwe. Tafadhalini sana.
Asante sana. Majina yako tafadhali, matatizo yako wapi?
Kwa majina naitwa Kimarap Kolum, natoka eneo la Soi, nikiwa mkulima. Leo tumekusanyika hapa na tumebarikiwa, tuko na Mheshimiwa Silas Tiren Rapkite, tuko na Mheshimiwa Senator wetu Professor Margaret Kamar. Tumekuja hapa kuchatiliana ama kuuliza viongozi wetu kuhusu malipo ya mazao yetu ambayo tulipatia nakala ya serikali cereals na hatujalipwa hata na sasa. Na tumekuja kuuliza, na haya yaliyotamkwa na mpendwa makamu wa rais wetu, haya pesa hayatoshi kamwe, ni bilioni 2 na tunahitaji bilioni 4.5. Haya ndio yatatosha, lakini tangia mwaka wa 2017 December tulimwaga mahindi yetu pale tukahusia na wametusahau. Hivi sasa tukiongea ukulima, shamba inakunywa maji, tumelima, hatuwezi kununua fertilizer, maana yake pesa cereals hawajaweza kulipa sisi, na kilio yetu ni tulipwe. Tunalia sana, tulipwe. Wagonjwa waende hospitali, school fees halipwi, watoto wametifate ya courses in universities, na mtu unaona ameuza mahindi ya milioni 1.9 na anataiwa katika chuo kikuu 1120, na hata sasa mtu amekaa na watoto wake nyumbani ametifaa courses mpaka mwaka unaokuja. Na haya ndio tunawatuma viongozi wetu wawili waende watuulizie, na kama haiwezekani basi watuambie tusili mashamba tena, walete pesa mahindi kutoka pale pengine.
Okay. Akisa indicated you have Professor Margaret Kamar and you had resolutions there. You have challenges that are facing farmers in Uasin Gishu. I remember last Saturday you also indicated that lack of school fees, where farmers cannot even pay school fees because they have not been paid their due that they deliver to the NCPB.
It is true. It's a very sad situation that we have in Uasin Gishu, I must say. About a month ago, the farmers demanded this meeting. They demanded the meeting because the resolutions that the petition that they sent to Parliament was a 12-point petition, and they were hoping that they would be answered with payments, that they will be answered with faster ways of distribution of fertilizer, that they will be answered with armyworms being dealt with, because in the resolution, in the petition that they sent to Parliament, they had a lot of issues, and I said a 12-point petition. I want to agree with the farmers because we have listened to them since morning. I want to agree that the problem is really very bad. They're in a very bad situation. I have personally witnessed students who have deferred programs in the universities. These farmers have always been paying for their school children, and they have not had problems. For the first time, they cannot do anything. Paying hospitals has become a problem. We are always perpetually in a rampage for medical issues, even for families that were actually able to do. Because the children of these farmers were not even asking for help loans. But now they are in a very bad situation. So I'm really appealing to the government that they honor the promise that they have made. I have personally met the CS, I personally met the PS, I have even met the CAS as recently as on Saturday. And we have raised these issues. I'm really appealing that the promise that they made, because they have made promises that this coming week, this week, which starts today, they are going to do payments. I hope that the payments will be sufficient enough for the farmers to be satisfied. We have been told of the issue of cartels, that there are cartels in this threat of releasing produce to cereals, and that is because of the cartels that farmers have not been paid. And we said we know our farmers. If we were to pay them through cooperatives, we would know each and every farmer. We know the acreages that they have. Unfortunately, even me, I'm a farmer, and my maize is locked out. It's outside. But I was patiently waiting, hoping that we could mop the small-scale farmers first, because they are more in need than I was. But we seem to have had a thoroughly confused system this year. And this confusion, we don't know where it has come from, and we really need to correct the system. Because it's not only the payment that was delayed, also the release of the fertilizer was horrible. We received CAN before we received fertilizer that we needed for planting. So there's been a major confusion this year. And the ministry must really investigate to understand, so that it is not just that we are talking of cartels when it comes to being paid, but also the issue of how cereals has handled release of fertilizers. So we have a major thing that needs to be addressed. But for the farmers, I am with them, and I'm really sympathizing with the situation that some of the farmers are in. Some of them have abandoned planting, by the way. Some are not planting this year. So if they don't plant, how shall we attain the food security pillar of the Big Four? Because if these farmers are not enabled to plant on time, to receive fertilizer on time, to treat cutworms when they appear, because that's another disaster that's going on. We still have cited cutworms very early. A lot of farmers actually spend a lot of their money again on that one. And so the little money that they had, they planted, some planted without fertilizer. And what came out? The cutworms came. It's another disaster that needs to be treated. So we really need to address this. But the farmers today have made it very clear that they are really in a pathetic situation that the government must address. They have sent us as leaders to go forward for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Akisa, that was Professor Margaret Kamar outlining out issues that have been affecting farmers in the North Rift region. I understand that later we'll be having Moiben, Member of Parliament Silas Tyrion, and also the Chairman of Kenya Farmers Association, Kipkorir Arap Menjo, also to outline the same. Because I remember yesterday Deputy President William Ruto had promised that the government had added 2 billion shillings to farmers. I'm saying this time around they're not going to pay businessmen and brokers, but they wanted the government to differentiate between the cartel and the real farmers in the North Rift region. Back to in studio, I understand later we'll be having an interview with Silas Tyrion.
Well, definitely it will be very interesting. It will be very interesting to hear what the MP Silas Tyrion will have to say about this latest development. He has been very critical of the government on how especially they have been treating farmers. So this is a story we will be revisiting here with Elvis Kosgei this hour on KTN News Desk. I want us to take a short break. When we get back, we speak to the Vice Chairperson of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, George Morara. Opposition activist Miguna is expected to jet back into the country on the 16th, which is on Wednesday this week. The government has said that it will not be facilitating another passport for him. So what are the options? What are we going to see on Wednesday this week? This and more in that particular conversation with George Morara. Don't go too far.